Hello and welcome to this home updates. So today we're going to do an IKEA run because there are a couple of things that we need to get for around the house, like a mirror in the entryway, because lately, well, the whole time that we've been living here, which is almost 6 months now, which is crazy, we've just been using the bathroom mirror to see our outfits, but we can only see the top half of our outfits. So sometimes I'll like go on my tippy toes or stand on a chair to see what my whole outfit looks like. So we need a full-length mirror, and IKEA has a full-body mirror that is a pretty good price because full-body mirrors can get really expensive. And then for over here, we're going to be giving this back to Drew. He brought it for the kitchen makeover, but we're returning it to him because I don't really think it fits the space that well because of all of the different wood tones. So we're going to get a rolling stainless steel cart from IKEA. I think it'll look nice, like the stainless steel will really complement the rest of the wood pieces, and I can also use it to like house some smaller plants on the shelves or little terrariums because I just feel like I need a little bit more space for more plants. I actually have a couple new plants that I want to show you, so we can do that right now because Chris is showering, so I'm just waiting for him to get ready and then we can go to IKEA. This is where I have all of my plants, or at least all of my smaller plants, all of my newer plants. Well, actually there aren't even that many new plants. I think I just have 2. Yeah, this is where I'm keeping my plants for right now, the smaller ones, because this is just where they get the most light. And then once they get a little bit more established, then I'm going to move them around to like different places. I just want them to grow a little bit before I subject them to less than ideal lighting conditions. So here's the first new plant. This is a Pothos Taruna World Himiko. So I decided that I wanted a pothos. Normally I like binding philodendron more than pothos, but I was like, it's been so long since I've grown a pothos, let me just go back to my original roots, because one of my first ever plants was a golden pothos. They're just like such a classic plant and so easy to grow, especially because I wanted to grow it on this shelf over here, and it just doesn't get that much light, so I just wanted something that I know will be fine there and actually be able to grow in a low light situation. I was looking up pothos on Etsy, and then I found Taruna World pothos, and I was like, what's that? So I looked into it a little bit online, and so I believe there is a grower in Japan called Taruna or Taruna World, and they create varieties of pothos. It's very simple, I think, but it has a nice minty variegation to it. All of the leaves look a bit different, like some are more variegated than others, and I thought it was just a nice touch. This is one of my favorite kinds of variegation. It's like still green, but a speckle of interest. When I got it, it was one longer plant in this pot, and then I chopped it up and now I'm propagating it in here. That way when I plant it in a pot, I'll have more plants in the pot, so it'll look a bit fuller. And then the next pothos is also a Taruna pothos. This is called Venus, Pothos Venus, and you probably can't really tell that it's any different. I mean, the pothos that I was planning to get was just green pothos with no variegation or anything. So the Venus pothos has very slight variegation. I don't think this one does yet. It has a little bit on this leaf, but I don't even know if it'll show up on camera. From far away, it looks like a regular green pothos, but when you look up closer, it has a subtle variegation. And also, I think that, I don't know if I'm just like, this is just in my head, but to me, it looks like it has a different leaf shape than your typical pothos. Like it just looks a bit sleeker. And I think maybe the green is a little bit of a different color. I could honestly just be making this up in my head, I'm not sure. And then all my other plants are growing really well. This is my Ficus umbellata. I put it near the couch here. I feel like this is a decent place for it. But look how much it's growing. Look who's here.
Hi
Out of the
everyone,
shower.
we are finally going to be organizing our shoes.
Oh yeah, I haven't mentioned that yet.
Oh, well, it's a big occasion.
Yeah, it is. The apartment is giving like super Asian household because all of our shoes are just collected right near the front door, and like super messy. And we have like a closet that we can put our shoes in, but it's very small but tall. So we're gonna get shoe organizers from IKEA. I was gonna get them from Crate and Barrel, but they're very expensive from Crate and Barrel, and I found that they have them at IKEA for a lot cheaper. So
And right now they're just stacked. Well, mine are stacked on top of each other in the closet because it's like maybe this wide. and then Benjamin's are just all lined up outside the closet, and it's driving me crazy. So
yeah, it looks pretty bad and messy. So that'll be nice too. Okay, so we're gonna get a mirror, a basket for Theo's toys, shoe organizers, and then that stainless steel rolling cart. And I actually have a gift card from IKEA because I did a sponsorship with them. Like, honestly, I don't even know when, maybe over a year ago now, but the gift card never expires. So I still have, I think I have enough money to get everything with the gift card. Oh, and the last plant thing I want to show you before we head to IKEA is my Australian bottle tree. It has so many new growth points now. I was actually really scared it would just die off, but there's a huge growth point up top, and then there's multiple little buds forming as well. You can see a bunch right there, and then there's another little one up top over there. I moved the Dracaena that I just showed you in the last video over near the console. Let me flip the camera around. Look at that, look how nicely it fills in the space. And it actually does get more light here because when the curtain is open, there's a lot of light that comes in. I love how it curves a little bit over the console. I think that looks so nice. And yes, it needs to be repotted. Right now it has plates over the top of the soil because when he started like going into the soil and try to lay in it. If you remember at her old house with our other Dracaena, we also had the problem of Winnie just like loving the dirt. So we put plates on top of the pot so that way Winnie can't get into the soil and make a mess everywhere. Before we head out, I'd like to talk about Climate Power, who I've partnered with for this video. So I'm working with Climate Power to spread awareness about climate related issues in the US. And I've worked with Climate Power a few times over the past couple of years, and in the last YouTube sponsorship I did with them, I was spreading awareness about the increase in job opportunities in clean energy thanks to the previous administration. And unfortunately today I am talking about how all of that progress is at risk. If you live in the US, you've probably heard about the One Big Beautiful Bill, which takes a sledgehammer to clean energy investments to fund tax cuts for billionaires. The bill aims to do a variety of things, for example, cut Medicaid, food stamps, and student loan forgiveness, and sell off vast acres of public land. Already in the first quarter of 2025, attacks on clean energy have canceled or stalled more than 960,000 jobs and more than $86 billion in investments, which will end up costing us hundreds more dollars on our energy bills. Clean energy makes our air and water cleaner, improving the health of vulnerable groups like children, and saving Americans up to $77 billion in health costs alone. The bill has already passed in the House, and we cannot let it pass in the Senate because this is the most anti-environmentalist bill in US history. So here's a call to action for you. You can text BENJI to 43464 for a super easy way to call your senators now before they vote and demand they protect our future and our clean energy investments. Now we could get this one, but I guess this could be nicer because then you don't have to like open up the compartment and like put the shoes in. You can just put the shoes on.
Yeah, but would this get messier, do you think? Just like...
It'll definitely like not be as... Well, it depends on if we're good at keeping it clean.
We're gonna keep it clean?
I think I'll be pretty good. Yeah, you'll be good.
We'll see.
But yeah, this is an option. If we don't like the other ones, we'll come back to these ones. We have a list of everything that we need, so we're not going to get anything extra, but I do want to see their new Stockholm collection, because there are some pieces that I like. We don't need anything, but I'm just curious to see the build quality, because they're kind of expensive pieces, actually. Oh, this is one of the couches in their new collection. $1,700. That's a lot for an IKEA couch. The fabric is really scratchy, and I feel like the upholstery isn't that nice, and also the cushions aren't that great. Do not recommend that. This one's actually nicer.
This one's nice.
Yeah. I like the deep. Really comfy, actually. I like this one. This is also one of the new couches, and it looks nice, but like after a while, it'll look so linty, and you're just gonna have to clean it all the time. This is such a cute display that they made, so it's supposed to be like a shop. And look at these paint colors. This is like Chris's paint color, and that's my paint color.
I love this color.
It actually looks nice together. This is, whoever thought of this idea, good job. A shop inside of a shop.
Can I help you find anything?
No, not really.
Anything specific?
Nothing in here is really catching my eye, honestly. This was one of the chairs that I was looking at on the website too. Also from the Stockholm collection. It feels so awkward. Like, no arm support. It's so low, too. It's kind of hard.
I know, right? It's kind of awkward. Is it supposed to be attached to anything? Like,
No, that's it. It's just a side chair.
oh, it's not very comfortable.
This is a coffee table I was thinking about. I feel like it looks pretty nice, actually. Let's see how the glass quality is. Okay, the glass is very thin. And this is definitely veneer. I mean, most IKEA stuff is veneer, but it looks nice.
It's way too big for a living room.
Yeah. Yeah, it would take up like the entire area. But it's actually pretty nice, and it's not too expensive compared to everything else that is in the collection. This is another product that I thought looked nice. I just like glass with wood. I think glass with wood is such a nice combination. Oh, there's handles here. Okay, why can't it open? Ooh, doesn't slide that well. These handles are like not good at all. I guess you can touch it right here, but wait, this is so hard to use. This is the cart we're thinking of getting. It looks better in Jahal's house than it does here. But I think with the right styling, it could be nice. Maybe.
I think maybe the environment isn't doing it any favors. Like, I think in our home, it could look kind of nice, yeah.
Here's the basket for Theo's toys. We're thinking of this one or this one. But I think this one's rattan and then this one's bamboo. But I think we like the bamboo one more. You like the bamboo one more, Chris? Okay, look at the bamboo one then. Okay, we decided to go with these ones instead. We found these ones, but because they're hard to open from the bottom and they're not very heavy, they don't really like stay on. So I think it would be difficult to use these actually compared to just the shelf. Do you think it's too big?
It's huge.
No, it's kind of like ginormous. This mirror is like way bigger than I realized.
100.5.
It's really big, but I think it can work. We'll see. We can return it if it doesn't work out, but I do really like it. It would be nice to check our outfits and stuff inside. Oh. I'm kind of worried it might be too big, but we can always return it, right? The mirror doesn't fit in our car, so we are gonna have them deliver it for us instead. We are back home now, and the mirror did not fit in the car, so we weren't able to take it with us, but IKEA is able to deliver it for us. So yeah, but I measured the area where the mirror is gonna go, and it will fit there, and I actually think it'll look really nice and take up a good amount of space. Because there's not much going on in the entryway. We got the trolley, the stainless steel cart, and now that I'm here, I do think it'll look a lot better in this space than it did in the showroom. Because I've seen that piece a couple of times. I've seen it 3 times now in different settings, and I've liked it every time. It was just when we were in the showroom, I was like, this looks weird. And I think it was because of the lighting, the other stuff around it, and then also it was a bit dirty. So we'll set it up and hopefully it'll look better. So let's start with like the smallest things and then go up. Let's unbox these glasses. Not super interesting, but might as well share it. These are the only kinds of cups that we have. We have glass cups around this size, and then we have these large mugs. So it's hard for us to make like large iced coffees to drink. And we've been wanting larger cups for a while, so we just got some from IKEA. They're very basic, but I think basic is nice. And the glass is kind of thick, which I like, because I like whenever we go to restaurants and the drinking glasses are sort of thick, and I like a bit of texture like this. And then we have this basket that we got for Theo's toys and stuff. It looks nice here. I realized though that I kind of wish I got something with the lid because it's going in this lower level. So when you're walking around, you can see the contents of the basket, but it's okay. Usually Theo's toys are just scattered all over the floor, but when we film, we put them away inside of the sliding cabinet. I'll probably have to play with him now. But let me show you his toys that he has. This is his bunny, and then he has this weird octopus bunny. Next, we got Crunchy Battery, and this cute little knitted dino. This is actually a cat toy, but Winnie doesn't really care for it, so Theo likes to play with it. And this, I don't even know what this is supposed to be, but it's crunchy, so Theo likes it. And then of course, here's his beaver. We call it the BVZ. Right now he has about 3 of these just scattered around the house. And then next and last is, I have no idea what this is supposed to be. Maybe it's a squirrel, but I just realized it's missing a leg. Theo likes to do that. Theo likes ripping limbs and tails off of things. I think clothes storage is something I learned that is very, very important for making a house look nice. It just makes everything look more clean, organized, and put together. If you have open storage, then you kind of have to make it, you have to curate it, but realistically, not everything we own is going to be able to be curated and look nice, because not everything is aesthetically pleasing. Oh, he's barking for his toys now. It was my fault for bringing them out. Okay, I'm gonna play with him for a little bit. Here's his other beaver. I like doing this thing where I throw like 2 beavers at a time and see which one he chooses. Okay. See, like, how does he know which one he wants? I don't understand. Let's set up the shoe rack thing. I don't think it should be hard. Oh, not hard at all. I think you just open these up. Yep. Perfect. So, set it up, and then we just stack them on each other. The bottom of the feet can fit into the grid. Okay, this is definitely, I think, a better purchase than the other thing we were thinking of. Do you see how messy it looks with all the shoes here? Not a good look when you first enter an apartment. So this is my side, and then this is Chris's side. But yeah, I mean, it's really easy access. I think that's what's kind of important. The other one, you would have to like un-Velcro and then put your shoes inside, or un-Velcro to take your shoes out. And I feel like those little friction points make it so, well, at least for me, it makes it so I am lazy and then I just leave my shoes near the door. It's just what I've learned about myself, is that I just need to make it as easy as possible for me to be tidy,
Yes, finally.
No, it looks pretty good, right? And now you put this together. Chris, you want to help me?
Mm-hmm.
Yay! Here it is. I'm not in love with the wheels, but I could easily change out the feet on the bottom. Okay, I had to change my shirt because I was getting kind of hot. As with most things, like larger pieces that we add into the space, I'm always not sure how I feel about it. Like, for example, the green chair that we added, I wasn't sure about it until like 3 days in, and then it was my favorite thing in the house. So I'm gonna give myself some time to think about this. It's getting kind of late, so I'll pick up the video tomorrow. but this is how it is kind of looking right now. And then we also have these two art pieces that I was thinking of having above here like this. Wait, I'm kind of liking it now.
I was telling him earlier, I like it. I think it's nice.
Yeah. But Chris also told me earlier that like you don't like anything that's new until a couple of days. It's just so true. I don't know what is like wrong with my brain. It takes me a while to get used to new things. Like honestly, half the things in this apartment when we brought it inside of the apartment, I was like, I don't know if I like this. And now I love everything. So yeah, I think, okay, yeah. I said I would talk to you tomorrow. I'm just gonna talk to you tomorrow once I hash out my thoughts. Hello, it's the next day. So I like it. It only took me about like 2 hours to get used to it, and now I really like it. So I think it needs something to soften it up and kind of bring it in with the rest of the woods. But I think once we have some things on there, it'll blend in a bit better. But my favorite thing, like Chris pointed out, was that it just fits perfectly flush to the counter. Probably made to fit a standard counter height, but let me show you. It's just so perfect. It's like very satisfying. Look at how that lines up. Now we're gonna hang up the artwork. Oh, by the way, I think yesterday when you last saw the cart, it was up against the wall, but now we have it up against the cabinet because I think it just fits better like that. I just realized that we don't have a leveler, so we're gonna have to eyeball it. Hopefully we don't have to do this multiple times.
Looks good. Yeah. It's really cute.
Oh yeah, get off the counter, please. Not supposed to be on there. Okay, this artwork is up and I think it looks so good with the cart. I feel like they complement each other really well, and also the art pieces complement each other so well, like the color and everything, and it's a nice little memento from the old house. Okay, and then I have another piece of art that I want to put up. This is an art piece that I got from an Etsy shop from someone who's also a YouTuber. Her name is Rhiannon White, and she has an Etsy shop that I'll link in the description. And I bought this a while ago, and she actually refunded me and then sent it for free because she was saying that she's a viewer and she wanted to gift art to us, which is so sweet. And I got it because it kind of reminded me of Winnie. And I like the green. It's like not a typical green I would choose because normally I like the more yellow warm greens, but I think this is like a nice punch of color. So we are putting this in the kitchen. Oh, I don't know how well the camera's picking up the green, but it just has so much nice contrast with the wood vinyl that we put on, because everything in the kitchen is fairly warm. So when he's on a diet and she's crying for more food, but she can't have more food. Sorry, Winnie. That's good.
It looks so good.
I like it. We're getting some color in the house. Well, I mean, we already have a lot of green, but... Next, I am really excited to talk about this. So, this is Theo's bed. that he uses. We've had this for so long. I think this is one of the first beds that we bought for him when we first got Theo. And the purple isn't really my favorite shade of purple, so I've been looking for like a nice smallish dog / cat bed to replace it. But I couldn't really find anything that I liked, and I also didn't love the idea of getting rid of this one because Theo likes it. But I saw that Coral and Tusk, which is one of my favorite like pillow textile brands. They make these really cute, what is this called? Like embroidered artwork on things like pillows and napkins and table linens, things like that. This is a pet bed, but they just sell it as a cover. So you can put like a towel or a blanket in here or an old pet bed, and Theo's old pet bed fits perfectly inside. There is a zipper. Just open this up, put the pet bed inside. Only thing though is that I think that they only sell this in Japan at the moment, so I think you may have to purchase it through a Japanese website, or you could just probably message Coral and Tusk on Instagram, see what they say and like how to acquire it. I've been talking to the Coral and Tusk team for a while now, so I was able to just contact them directly. But yeah, it's super cute, very well made, and Theo loves it still. It's so cute. And I actually feel like it adds to the decor of the space rather than, you know, just being like a pet item that you need. So yeah, I'm really happy about this. Cute, functional, what more can you ask for? Here, Wendy, do you want to sit on here? I was thinking of getting another one for Winnie, but she literally has so many places she sleeps. I feel like she doesn't need one because she goes on the couch, she goes on her cat tree, she goes on the floor, she goes on the bed, she goes on the chair, she goes on the ottoman. So I feel like one's okay, and then they can just share it. So next I want to talk about this table that we're using as like a coffee table / end table. Right now we're just using it to hold some plants that I'm planning to move later. This is pretty heavy because it's solid wood. And originally I wanted this to be a coffee table. It's a bit too tall for a coffee table. So I was considering cutting the legs and moving it down, but then I moved it to this side and I was like, wait, it actually kind of works there. That meant that we'd be able to bring out the ottoman, because if we had a coffee table in the center, we wouldn't be able to have this ottoman for the lounge chair out all the time. And also it allowed us to have space on the rug, because this is where we play with Winnie and Theo. Without the space on the rug, there isn't really a good play area for them. So previously I was thinking, okay, we can have the coffee table here, and then when we want to play with Winnie and Theo, then we can just move it out of the way. But I realized that I don't like having furniture that needs to be moved around. It just makes it feel more inconvenient. I would prefer to have furniture just stay in place all the time. So now this table functions as like a side table, but also as a coffee table. And what's nice about having the couch behind the desk too, is that I find that we often use the desk as a place to rest things. So we rest our drinks there, or we rest like a book or our phone or something. Because so you can just like easily reach over and use this area as a desk too, or like as a coffee table thing. So we don't really need a center coffee table. And so this coffee table is from Herman Miller. If you remember a couple home updates back, I was saying that Herman Miller reached out and asked if we wanted anything because we moved into the new space. And so we got that rug that's in the bedroom, we got this table, and then we got that trolley that's underneath the desk that holds a lot of our electronics. And what drew me to the table was the organic shape that it had. In this apartment, everything is pretty square or rectangular, so I felt like we needed some curves. That's why we got this curvy, more organic chair and ottoman, and then also this table. And I like the wood color, and I also like that it's burl wood. It gives a very like interesting detail and pattern that you don't get with other types of woods. And then I also liked that it has 3 legs, because we used to have a 3-legged side table back at our old house that I really loved. That was one of my favorite pieces of furniture. It was just like a one-off random piece that I found at a vintage store, and I always liked that it had 3 legs. It wasn't the most stable all the time though. This one is a lot more stable. But yeah, this table kind of reminds me of that one. So I got two things for my birthday from Chris. One of them was this big branch. I forget the name of it right now. It starts with an E, but I saw this branch, this plant being used a lot in Japan. They would just have a huge branch of this and it would be sitting in a vase, and they said that it lasts for a really long time. And I finally found it here. Chris and I were just at a cafe, and then we walked into a floral shop, and then they had branches of this. So what's really cool about this is that it lasts for about 6 months as a cutting in water, and you don't really have to take care of it at all. So if you want like a tree-like plant in your house, this is a good way to get it. Although this is my first time I've ever seen this before, so I'm not sure where you could get it reliably. So I'm gonna leave you off with some shots of the apartment because I think it's looking really good, and it's amazing how much this space has transformed since we moved in. Like, it feels kind of unrecognizable now when I look at old photos and videos, because this really was just a blank white canvas, and now it feels so homey. I was thinking of maybe doing just like an apartment tour to show everything, because it's been 6 months now since we moved in here. So that's something that I regret not doing at our old house. I never really did a proper house tour because I never felt like it was finished. Like, I wanted to finish it before I did a house tour, but I've realized that your home is never finished, so you're never gonna feel like now is a great time to do a home tour. Yeah, I think it'd be fun to go around and show the state that the apartment is in now, and then later do another apartment tour and then see how much progress we've made, because that's kind of what I did with my plant tours too, and that was really fun. So yeah, okay, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one, and thank you so much to Climate Power for partnering with me for this video. Goodbye.